What's going on, Leeds faithful? Pull up a chair and buckle up because what I'm about to drop on you will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about our beloved Whites. Listen, I've been following this club through thick and thin, through the glory days and the heartbreak, and let me tell you something. What's happening at Elland Road right now is absolutely mental. We've got 3 massive stories brewing that are going to change everything for our season. And I mean everything. First up, we've got some behind-the-scenes drama involving our owners and a secret meeting that could completely revolutionize how we compete with the big boys. Then, there's this absolute bombshell about one of our star players that has everyone talking, and trust me, you won't see this coming. And finally, the story that's got every fan on edge whispers about our manager's future that will either give you goosebumps or keep you awake at night. Before we dive into this madness, smash that like button if you bleed white. Drop a comment with your predictions. And make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss a single update about our Whites. The tension is real, the stakes couldn't be higher. And what's about to unfold will determine whether we're building something special or heading for disaster. So grab your scarf, channel that Elland Road atmosphere, and let's get into why our owners just made a move that could change everything. Here's the first bombshell that's got me absolutely buzzing. Our 49ers Enterprises bosses are sitting in a room right now with the Premier League's biggest powerhouses, and what they're discussing could be the game changer every Leeds fan has been praying for. The 49ers are in London today for a crucial summit meeting with other Premier League clubs, and the topic on the table: those bloody profit and sustainability rules that have been strangling our ambitions since day one. Think about it. Whites faithful, we've got owners who backed Daniel Farke with nearly £100 million this summer, bringing in quality players like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Anton Stach, and Noah Okafor. These aren't panic buys or championship punts. These are proven Premier League warriors. But here's the kicker. They wanted to spend even more. The 49ers were ready to go all out to really make a statement. But those damn PSR rules held them back like chains. Can you imagine what we could have achieved if our owners had free reign? We're talking about a club with serious American investment. People who know how to build winning franchises, being told they can't compete because of some arbitrary spending limits that protect the so-called Big Six. But here's where it gets interesting. The league wants to scrap PSR and replace it with something called squad cost ratios. Under this new system, clubs like us could spend up to 85% of our revenue on player wages and transfers. That's potentially massive money flowing into Elland Road. The current system is a joke, and every real football fan knows it. It punishes ambition, it creates an uneven playing field, and it makes it nearly impossible for promoted clubs like us to establish themselves among the elite. We've got owners with deep pockets and big dreams, but we're being held back by rules designed to keep the rich clubs rich. However, and this is crucial, at least 14 out of 20 clubs need to vote for this change, with 9 teams currently in European competition who benefit from the current system. This could be an uphill battle, but if this passes, game over for the old guard. We could be looking at a Leeds United with the financial freedom to compete with anyone. The meeting is happening as we speak, and the decisions made in that room could determine whether we're building a sustainable Premier League future or forever fighting with one hand tied behind our backs. This isn't just about money, it's about fairness. It's about giving clubs like Leeds the chance to dream big again. But wait until you hear what one of our own stars is saying. That has everyone questioning his commitment to the cause. Hold on to your seats because this next story is going to mess with your head in ways you never expected. Remember that beautiful header Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored against Wolves? The one that had us all believing he could be our savior up front? Well, turns out that goal has opened up a can of worms that's got everyone talking. Bryn Law from LUTV just dropped an absolute truth bomb that has left the entire fan base divided. According to Law, Calvert-Lewin shouldn't really be at Leeds because he's simply too good for us. Can you believe that? Our own club's media personality is basically saying we punched above our weight landing this striker. Law didn't mince words. His next move from Everton realistically should have been to a big club or abroad. To somebody big abroad. Ouch. That stings, doesn't it? Here we are, celebrating getting a proven Premier League striker, and we're being told he's slumming it with us. But here's the thing that's really got me fired up. Law might actually be right. And that's both exciting and terrifying at the same time. Think about it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has 57 Premier League goals in 139 appearances. That's a striker with serious pedigree, someone who should be playing for Champions League clubs, fighting for trophies, not battling relegation with us. Danny Murphy was raving about his physical presence on Match of the Day, praising how he handled the Wolves defenders like they were schoolboys. This isn't some championship player trying to adapt. This is a genuine top-level striker who chose us over bigger clubs. But why, and more importantly, for how long? Law went even further, claiming Calvert-Lewin is potentially the best striker we've had in a decade. I don't think any Leeds striker of the last 5-10 years possibly scores that header. That's massive praise, but it also highlights just how desperate our situation has been up front. Here's what's keeping me awake at night. If Calvert-Lewin is indeed too good for us, what happens when the big clubs come calling in January? What happens when he realizes he could be fighting for European places instead of scrapping to avoid relegation? We've seen this story before with our best players. The 28-year-old has had fitness issues throughout his career, missing large chunks of time through injury. But when he's fit and firing, he's the kind of striker that transforms a team's entire outlook. The question is, can we keep him happy, keep him healthy, and convince him that Leeds United is where he belongs? His performance against Wolves showed exactly what we've been missing. A target man who can hold the ball up, bring others into play, and most importantly, put the ball in the back of the net when it matters. But if we're being honest about our ambitions, can we really blame him if he starts looking elsewhere? The brutal reality is that we need him more than he needs us, and everyone knows it. We're walking a tightrope between celebrating our coup and signing him, and praying he doesn't outgrow us before we can establish ourselves in the Premier League. But speaking of walking tightropes, wait until you hear what's really happening with our manager's future, because this final story is going to blow your mind. Right, Leeds faithful. This is it, the story that's going to leave you either punching the air with joy, or staring at the ceiling all night wondering what the hell is happening at our club. The rumors have been swirling, the whispers getting louder. But what I'm about to tell you about Daniel Farke's situation is going to shock you to your core. You thought our German gaffer was on thin ice? You thought the board were getting twitchy about his Premier League credentials? Well, think again. Pete O'Rourke just revealed something that changes everything we thought we knew about Farke's position at Elland Road. Get this, Daniel Farke actually turned down Benfica to stay with us. That's right, one of Portugal's biggest clubs came knocking, offering him a chance to manage in European competition, and he said thanks, but no thanks. I'm staying with Leeds United. Can you believe that level of commitment? But here's where it gets even more mental. There were whispers back in May that Farke might walk away from Leeds himself. Sources were saying he could have left before this season even started. The speculation was real, the uncertainty was there, but our man chose to stay and fight. Mick Brown, former chief scout at Manchester United and Sunderland, had warned that we were at serious risk of relegation if we couldn't score goals. Well, guess what happened next? That magical 3-1 victory over Wolves that turned everything round. Calvert-Lewin, Stach, and Okafor all finding the net. Exactly the kind of performance that shows Farke knows what he's doing. The insider information is clear. Farke still has the backing of the Leeds board, and I think he'll remain at Leeds for as long as they want him. This isn't a manager hanging on by a thread. This is a man who has earned the trust of everyone at the club. Think about what Farke has actually achieved. He brought us back to the Premier League. He's shown he can work with limited resources, and now he's proving he can compete at the highest level. The man's a fan favorite, and rightfully so. He's not just surviving in the Premier League, he's showing signs that we can genuinely compete. But let's be real about the challenges ahead. We've only scored in 2 of our 5 Premier League matches this season, and that's a concern that could see us drift toward the relegation zone. The club is already monitoring Jean-Philippe Mateta from Crystal Palace as potential January reinforcement. The January transfer window is going to be absolutely crucial. If we can bring in more attacking firepower, if we can give Farke the tools he needs to succeed, then this season could be the foundation of something truly special. But if we fall short, if the goals dry up again, then all the backing in the world might not be enough. Here's what's got me most excited though. Farke rejected a bigger club to stay with us. That tells you everything about his belief in this project, his connection to the fans, and his vision for where we can go. This isn't a manager looking for his next opportunity. This is someone who sees Leeds United as his destination. The board believes in him, the fans love him, and he's chosen us over European football. If that's not a foundation to build on, I don't know what is. So here we are, White's faithful. 3 stories that paint a picture of a club at a crossroads. But maybe not the crossroads we thought we were at. We've got owners fighting to change the rules so they can back us properly. A striker who might be too good for us but is here nonetheless. And a manager who's rejecting bigger clubs to stay and build something special at Elland Road. The question is, are we witnessing the beginning of a new era for Leeds United? Or are we setting ourselves up for heartbreak once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you think we can make this work. And don't forget to subscribe because the story of this season is only just beginning. What do you think, Leeds faithful? Are we finally building something that can last? Or are we dreaming too big for our own good? The next few months will tell us everything we need to know. Marching on together.